cat started already. Even everybody, how you doing? It's Wednesday night. Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday night. And I figured I'd do a real quick little update on the Conch. I'd originally planned on doing something the day after, because I figured it would swell up and get very painful, but it's really not been too bad at all actually. And just haven't really had very much exciting to say. Sorry, the cat's making all sorts of noises behind me. Don't know if you can hear that now. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, I figured I would I'd make a quick little update now just to let you know what's going on. I say nothing really very exciting at all. It's swollen up a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I'm used to them swelling up. And as I mentioned before, because it's been at this size a couple of times before, I think this is my third attempt at this size. It might only be my second, but I have a feeling it's my third attempt at getting this to 16, which means at least part of the reshaping of the actual cartilage is already done, which does definitely make it a whole lot easier, rather than having to go through all of it all in one go. But yeah, I'm a little bit tired, so I apologise if I'm a little bit all over the place. It's been a couple of busy days at work. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, like I say, it's barely swollen up at all. In fact, I can wiggle it about. When I've had really tough stretches, I can't touch it or anything at all. And the actual ear lobe itself hasn't swollen up too much. Something I noticed when my actual main cartilage on my ear swells up a lot. It can end up resulting in my actual lobe itself swelling up as well. But I have a feeling it's a little bit puffier than usual, but very, very little. Not enough to make me actually want to take my plugs out, my earrings out. Because quite often, especially if this is particularly sore after a stretch, I'll often end up taking these guys out, just so it's not chipping around and tugging on my ear and just aggravating it further. But yeah, I haven't needed to do that at all, which is really handy. And like I say, even just fiddling and tugging it about, I can feel that it's uncomfortable on my conch, but it's really not too bad at all, which is really nice. So I'm really quite surprised. I'm really quite surprised by that. Sometimes there almost seems no real rhyme or reason to whether or not it goes well. I was expecting it to be worse than this, and thankfully it's not been too bad at all. I definitely haven't been sleeping as well as normal. I'm generally quite a light sleeper anyway, but I've definitely noticed these last few days since the stretch, I've woken up a couple of nights where I have lent on it, and that hurts. So that's woken me up, and I definitely don't feel as rested, which I'm putting down to that. But yeah, overall it's going really well, and I'm really quite surprised about that. Surprised again. I'm really quite surprised about it, but I'm certainly thankful. And every time I look in the mirror, there's a mirror there. Every time I look at this here in the mirror, even though it's only 1 millimeter bigger, it looks so much bigger than I'm used to. Just because it's now the same size as this one, which is weird because it almost looks bigger just because I'm used to it being so much, well, not so much smaller, but smaller. When I actually do look at it in the mirror, it almost looks like it's bigger than this one, which is weird. Just a weird little illusion, I suppose, going on there. Cat's making all sorts of noise again. But yeah, so it's actually all going really smoothly, which I'm very pleased about. Other than that, I don't have a great deal of other news. My septum is settling down, voice cracked, wonderful. My septum is definitely settling down very well. It's still got a little bit of a thin spot around here somewhere, but putting it back down a millimetre seems to have done wonders, and it's definitely not getting any worse, and I am fairly certain it's actually getting better. Because when I first noticed it, when I would wiggle my nose about, you could almost see the pressure from the thin spot around here. But you actually, I was just fiddling about with it in the mirror just now. I was tying my hair up to get my hair out of the way so I could show my ear. But I was fiddling about with my nose at the same time, and yeah, it actually looks a lot better already, which is good. I'm hoping I will still be able to carry on stretching at some point, but I'm going to take a bit of a hiatus from that for the time being, just to allow it to recover a little bit more. And I'm doing extra oil rubs and the likes on it, just again to try to encourage the blood supply to the area to keep the tissue healthy and to stop anything going too drastically wrong. So it's a bit of a shame, but it's all a learning experience. And fingers crossed if I get a hold of it, get on top of this now, it'll be fine to carry on further down the line. I say, at the very, very least, I want to get it at least back up to 28 again. I really liked it at 28. And I obviously would like to go bigger than that if I can. But I think the very smallest I want it is 28. So I'll at least be going back up 1 more millimetre. Anyway. But that, like I say, I will probably leave that now until the end of the summer. What month are we in now? Just started May. Yeah, if I aim for end of August, September sort of time, then at least that will give me a good sort of 4 or 5 months, I think, to allow it just to chill out and settle down. Because I mean, I have been abusing it quite badly lately. As I've been up and down to 29 a couple of times over the last year or so. And yeah, I've really never given it much of a break. I did give it a break at one point where it was around 20 millimeters for a little while. I think it was 21 millimeters for a couple of years, if I remember rightly. But it's been a while since I've given it a real break, so maybe this will actually do it some good. Maybe this was the little kick I needed just to actually give it a break and let it chill out a bit. So maybe hopefully this will be a good thing in the long run. Yeah, I think that's all piercing wise. I think. I said I've literally only just gotten back from work. It's been a very, very wet day at work today. It's been raining all day. And I actually quite like the rain. I do enjoy being outside when it's raining, and I have no problem getting wet. And I don't really get cold, like at all. It has to be very, very cold outside for me to really notice it being cold and for it to negatively affect me at all. But I actually do quite like being outside in the rain. I've always enjoyed it, and admittedly it makes the job a little bit more awkward, but nah, it's just fine. I do enjoy being outside in the rain, so I've had quite a fun little day today. So it's alright. Just tiring. These last week and a half, 2 weeks have been a little bit more stressful than usual at work. But it's yeah, it is what it is. It's just the way it goes sometimes. We have busy periods. Like any job, we have busy periods and quiet periods, and it's just a little bit more stressful over the last week or so, week and a half. So I'm looking forward to, it's only Wednesday, but I'm already looking forward to the weekend just to relax and do nothing. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to need to get back into doing a little bit of meditation. I've let that slide over the last few months, and I think that will help me just chill out a little bit if I get back into doing that semi-regularly, which isn't a bad thing. Help me calm my mind a little bit. Actually, something I have been thinking about recently is actually joining. Well, I've been thinking about it for a little while. I've always been relatively active and done lots of physical stuff in the past, and especially with this job. The job itself is physical at times, but it's not the same as obviously when I was at Tesco's working in the car park. I was literally walking all day every day, whereas this job I do a lot more sitting down. And yeah, I do a lot of heavy lifting at the same time, but at the same time I feel like I could be doing more physical activities just to meet my personal needs, I guess. I've always enjoyed being outside doing physical stuff, and just literally the end of last year, a new gym opened up in Ipswich. It's actually a rock climbing gym where they have bouldering and indoor walls and whatnot. I'm really tempted to actually join that. It was something I was considering doing. I've been following their progress of them building the gym since the middle of last year, and it opened, I think it was either November or December at the end of last year, and I've been actually considering going down and joining that at some point, and maybe going there every other weekend or something like that. I used to love climbing when I was little. Well, even now I still enjoy climbing. That's all. Whenever I'm wandering through the woods, I always seem to find a tree to climb up, even now. So yeah, I do enjoy climbing and walking and running and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure that's enough random nonsense. Kind of got a little bit off track there. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, all in general, the piercings are doing all fine. I haven't got any more piercing or mod related stuff myself. In fact, actually, Anna today went and got pierced, I believe, there's a new piercing studio opened up in Ipswich, literally a couple of days ago, called, what was it called? Boo Studio or something like that? I'm not exactly sure where it is, but it's somewhere in Ipswich, and I think Anna went down there today. She got her tragus pierced. I don't think she's ever had a tragus piercing before, but she went and got one. I'm not sure which ear, one or the other. She got done today. So yeah, but she went and did that today while I was at work. Which would have been quite interesting to pop down with her just to see what the studio's like. But then, to be honest, I'll probably stick with my own piercer anyway. So I'm been friends with the guy who I go to for piercings for quite a long time, since since the end of high school actually. Just after high school, when I started going out to clubs and gigs a little bit more. I think that was when I first met him. Yeah, so literally when I was about 17, 18 years old. So yeah, I've known him quite a while, and he's a good piercer, so I'll probably stick with him anyway. But yeah, I think Anna had a good experience at this new piercers in Ipswich, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, sorry, distracted again, I'm waffling on. I'll give you a proper update at the weekend when I'm a little bit more rested and a little bit less tired. I'll speak to you soon. Ciao for now. Bye.